be alive now? Maybe? Probably? Alright, I'm gonna assume we're good. So, today, kind of been bouncing back and forth between some D&T, some Bomberman, that sort of stuff. Just depending on how I'm feeling any given day. On Wednesday, we saw Julian in the LPL. Oh, not muted. There's not muted ads, and my mouse is totally gone. Alright, there we go. Remuted the ads. That's just my stream pulled up on the other screen. And there's an ad running. Sure, whatever. Anyway. Wednesday, Julian playing Bomberman, played some Bomberman. Today, for those of you watching the SCG Players Championship, Collin Rountree was our lone D&T player in the Legacy portion of the event. And doing pretty well. I don't know how he ended up. I didn't actually get to watch any of it. I saw most of the stuff going on Twitch. I know he was performing very well. I think he was like 2-0 or 3-0 at least, but I think there were only 3 rounds, right? It was like 4-man pods. I think he was... Did he go 3-0? I don't know, but he did very well. So we're gonna play the 75 that he is currently playing at the SCG Players Championship. Now, obviously, SCG Players Championship 16-person event. So, and as D&T as like a very metagameable deck, taking his list and then immediately going to a league with it, not generally considered to be like the best strategy. League fields, GP fields, obviously much wider than like trying to metagame for 15 other opponents. So don't do this at home. I just wanted to do it, show my support for everyone repping D&T out there and in big events like the SCG Players Championship. So we're just gonna jam the same list. Notable includes our, I don't know, it's a pretty stock list. The 4-drop split in the sideboard, which many people know I'm not a huge fan of, especially I kind of hate Palace Jailer right now. Palace Jailer just lines up really awkwardly against the Oko decks because the Oko decks are Astrolabe decks, and Astrolabe means Hasty Elks, which attack very nicely into freshly played Palace Jailers, so it's hard to combat that sometimes, but very powerful suite of 4-drops for the control matchups anyway. The other thing that is probably a very metagamed decision is like very much lack of graveyard hate. I've been seeing a lot of graveyard decks online, namely Hogak with your normal smattering of like red, black, reanimator, and some dredge. But this list has 3 graveyard hate pieces, instead choosing to fill up some of those other slots with Ethersworn Canonist, a card that I think is a lot worse than Deafening Silence right now. But like I said, much more metagamed, nuanced event, small number of people, so you can definitely opt to play some more intense tech choices than in like a more broad meta if you're just going to a GP or a league or whatever. But nonetheless, we'll jam the list and see how it goes. No, not the Legacy Challenge. Legacy Leagues. Let's play some Death and Taxes. Collin's busted, yeah, for sure. Didn't he top 8 like 2 Legacy GPs this year? He top 8'd GP Niagara with D&T. And then I think he top 8'd the other one with like Miracles or something. Get that out of here. Yeah, he was tearing it up today. I need to go back and rewatch all of his matches. I have not gotten to watch any of the Players Championship. I was at work during the whole Legacy portion. Sans Gas, we will obviously keep. Oh shit, I played normal planes instead of snow-covered planes. I copied his list card for card and forgot to swap out for the Holiday Spirit. If we get crushed in this league, it's because I'm not in because I'm not supporting the holidays. So my opponent went Wooded Foothills Go. We have an extra 2-drop in this Revoker. So I think I'm just happy just jamming a Thalia into whatever this is. If it ends up being like Rug Delver and we get dazed, it kind of sucks, but our hand lines up pretty well against Rug Delver anyway. Plow Wisp. Against most of the other decks that this Wooded Foothills could be, jamming the Thalia onto is pretty decent. Except for like Elves, but like we're gonna get flattened by Elves anyway. Also, Elves probably wouldn't keep land go on 7. So lands, most likely. Lands, just going land go is a little weird. This hand could beat Elves. Yeah, if there's a hand that could beat Elves, it's this hand and then drawing a Stoneforge Mystic. Because we have Revoker Plow. But, like, if we were against Elves, like, we definitely wouldn't want to, like, Thalia ourselves into, like, not being able to cast our Plows. This hand definitely still probably can't beat Elves unless we drew Stoneforge Mystic. Alright. We'll attack. And I'm gonna cast on other runes and say go. Don't know 100% what's going on, but I feel okay not holding up a Swords to Plowshares. The real question is, I'm not putting this Revoker on end of turn, so we definitely want to take the Vial up to 3, which probably means we just need to get this Revoker into play. Badlands. Ooh, 4-color Loam then? Yeah, alright. Tranquil Thicket. Wait. Tranquil Thicket's they play that. No, they play the Swamp one in 4-color Loam, right? I don't know what's happening. Let's give them a turn and see what happens. Unfortunately, if they are like Loam, they can't cast the Planeswalker here because of the Thalia, so we can't revoke it. So I don't really know what I want to revoke. Because, like, if it, like, I've seen lands with the Black Splash, but they don't play Badlands, they just play a Bayou, because all their fetches are, green. Yeah, but 4-color Loam, 4-color Loam usually plays Baron more, so I don't know exactly what's going on here. Trophy my mom. Alright. Certainly some sort of Loam strategy with Tranquil Thicket. I imagine it's probably just Loam with a Tranquil Thicket, I guess. Maybe just like a second cycle land or something. I mean, this resolves. I can't do anything about it. Go get a land. I'm just gonna like blind Revoker Liliana the Veil. Am I gonna leave it in my hand? No, because we're 100% taking this thing up to do Wisp. Mox Diamond to split the difference. My opponent has so many lands at play though that like naming Mox Diamond just doesn't really do anything, right? I'd rather just like blind try to snipe a Planeswalker. We can always reset the Revoker with the Wisp too, but obviously that gives them one activation of whatever Planeswalker it is. So if it's like Liliana the Last Hope or something, we just get like fucked. But Liliana the Veil is the big one that they usually have. That's the one that you usually have like the most of, so I guess. I guess if they just like next turn land Last Hope, we just Flicker Wisp their target and then smush the Last Hope, so that's fine. That's probably true of like whatever Planeswalker they might play. So I guess we just do that. I think I just want to get the bodies in play. Liliana of the Veil, I guess. Take file up. Do you need to do anything like no? Oh, okay. Do we need? I definitely want to take it up because I think holding up Flicker Wisp is one of the best things you could be doing with Vial. And I'm not really scared of an activated really that much right now. There's a chance I could just not put in the Revoker, but I think I just want to get power on the board. I think I just want to clock my opponent. We have answers to like all their creatures. Flicker Wisp stops a lot of their Planeswalkers from like doing anything that matters. I think I want Sword of Fire and Ice here. It's awkward if we don't draw a land, we can't get anything on the line yet, but her Fire and Ice is the most powerful against most red-based decks like this. Well, that makes my sword worse, certainly. Chalice voice. Alright, sure. Probably just gonna wisp that because I have 2 plows in my hand, and I just am going to just get a bunch of damage on the board. The maze does make my Stoneforge worse, so I kind of want to Flicker Wisp my Stoneforge to get like a Batter Skull, but like if we just wisp the Chalice, hit them for like 7, put them to 6, and then have like a sword to put in, that probably seems pretty fine. Unless they have like a sweeper. If they have like a toxic dealer, we get pretty fucked, but. Another Revoker. Can't cast a sword. Sword just gets mazed though. Do we want to put more things in play just to make sure they die and just hit them with everything? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Put them to 5. If they kill 2 of my creatures, we still have exactly 5 damage. It's like the only thing we're losing to is like land toxic deluge. I don't think we're realistically beating that with like a Revoker anyway. Yeah, I'm into it. You're only connecting for... Oh yeah, there's a Maze of Ith in play, which kind of makes me want to get more damage in play anyway. But it also makes me kind of want the sword online, so I get more damage. If we connect for 5, they're 8. We get the sword on a weak thing. They take 7. Alright, never mind. I'm into the sword again. Kind of forgot about factoring in Maze Math this turn. Yeah. We'll hold up the second Revoker. Second Revoker could potentially answer something. We could also just like cast a plow proactively if we really want to. Like if they play a 4/4 knight or something. Plague Engineer only hits one of our things. I feel like that's what they're doing here. Dark Confidant, that just has no text. I guess it like trades. Could put in the sword here. Gives me the option of attacking for more damage if we like draw another land or something, and we can still just plow the Bob out of the way if we want to. Alright. A real embarrassment of riches here. Well, I mean, as rich as plow can be, they're sometimes target light, but, plow the Bob, they go to 11. They maze this again and take 5. If we equip the sword here and attack, 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 they could draw a card with the Bob, but I don't really care, because their life total's under so much duress. They can maze this, chump block, or take 5, go to 4. I kind of like this play more. Or equip the Revoker, I guess. They're going to block it regardless, but the Revoker matters more as well. If only a little. I guess I got to attack with everything, right? No, we're not getting any damage off this, so it doesn't actually matter which one we equip to. Except in the case of protecting it with the sword. Because they're just going to maze the sword. The equipped creature here. But then we'll attack with the 2 things that it can't block profitably. Deal 5. Boom, boom. Yeah, jump block is fine. is the Revoker, sure. Does this set up for lethal? Not quite. No, it does, technically. But I imagine we'll have to plow something out of the way. They're on loam, they can't actually cast a lot. Wow, Forgotten Cave. They have a lot of cycling lands, whatever they're doing. And then die. So they're... What's up, G Lavamancer? Happy Friday to you as well. Yeah, whatever they're doing, they are a loam deck of some sort, like an X color loam, but they're playing a lot of cycling lands. Oh, did I get a message? Sideboard, the general plan against most of the loam decks is you bring in your Haymakers and you bring a lot of removal. Palace Jailer just, yeah, too many cyclines to be 4-color. Yeah, it makes sense that they were just Jund and they didn't have, like, Knights. Because they did a green and a red cycle land. The red one especially unusual because red's the splash color in 4-color loam traditionally. They are just on Jund loam. Crusader stock gets a lot better. But anyway, generally the plan is play Palace Jailer, because Palace Jailer, like, just really puts the hurt on them. So all these cards seem good, and probably the Needle. We didn't see anything really needleable, but I imagine they have some Planeswalkers. What do I usually cut in this matchup? GTA and a Stoneforge. Too many things to bring in, really. We could probably just cut the Moms. Bring this Needle sound good. Let's submit this. This looks fine. How's your Friday going? Going pretty good. Hey, Lily, calm down. I didn't say, but Lily is hanging out in the room and she's not quite settled yet. I put it as lost connection. But yeah, I was replying to the I got a DM. Lily, calm down. Lily, go lay down, bud. Oh, my opponent's back. They've chosen to play first. Alright, hands without vials, especially hands that, like, have a bunch of, wastelandables. Hands that have, anyway, sorry, I'm tackling, like, a bunch of things at once. But hands have a bunch of wastelandables. Generally a little bit risky, especially when you don't have the vials, but we have like some pretty powerful tools. Path, a little bit worse than Plow in the early turns, but we have Recruiter for Jailer, which is really big. We have Crusader, which is big if my opponent's not on white. Which didn't seem to be. Oh, nice. Or we could just draw Aether Vial off the top of our deck, like a skilled magician. I don't know if you guys can hear that. That's just my dog chewing on her little toy. You guys can probably hear that. It's very loud. Skill game, yeah, exactly. This is how professional Death and Taxes players do it. If you don't have the vial in your opening hand, you'll draw the vial. Oh, my opponent, on the other hand, does not have a lot of mana, so we're just going to shot and port their swamp and put their face in the dirt here. I know if your prowess is a skill magician, that's true. Drizoth is an expert in knowing how good I am at top decking cards. So yeah, now we're just going to port their swamp. And just crush them. If they have like a non-basic land to make mana, we just wasteland that one. Violate all of our threats and kill them. Like that. I'll wasteland that. Yes, that plane is also pretty good. Yeah, we're getting some good draws here. Untap, take the pile up, wasteland the Caracas, port the swamp. Kapow. Probably just gonna go Batter Skull with the Stoneforge Mystic. Kinda wanna get Sword. It's a little bit trickier to maneuver because of this Mazavith, but we could like port down the Mazavith and have Crusader holding a sort of Fire Knights in the same turn at some point and just like smush my opponent. Because we'll kind of see. Words of Daryl. Yeah, yes, the IRS is rolling heavy. Oh, opponent not hitting a land drop, huh? Oof, that's a rough one. I hear you usually need those land drops to win games. Ooh, didn't even need the Recruiter. We're just gonna attack because we're definitely porting this turn. So over the course of the next two turns, the play patterns involve land drop, port the swamp, and then put in the sword, untap. We can port this Mazavith and equip the Mirror Crusader and just crunch them for a bunch. So we're looking pretty good here. It's one of the most absurd series of draws I've seen in a while. Yeah, it doesn't help that my opponent's also just not hitting land drops. Saber just use the waste on Mace and then port to take care of the mana when needed. I think I just want to make my opponent never cast a spell for this whole game. 4 perfects. Yeah, pretty much. Running real nice. I'm going to leave the Vial on 3. I don't think we need to get this Jailer going. We can recruit stuff. We could also just recruit a Flicker Waste, but like not have to port down the maze. We could just like flicker it or something. We unfortunately cannot crunch them for 12 right now. Discard Countryside Crusher, oh boy. Alright, sure. Just in case. You never know. So we are set up for exact Cs here? No, we're 1 off, right? 12, 13, 14. Yeah, we're actually going to be 1 off next turn. Lily, calm down. They're also super, super dead. They're just unbelievably dead. Oh, they're massacring me. Oh, baby. They're not dead. We're getting massacred. Alright, well. I will still enact my game plan. Lily, shh. Lily's freaking out because you can hear a dog barking outside. That's fine. Only hit him for 5, I guess. Go get a Flicker Wisp. Go get the other Crusader, smush them some more. Flicker Wisp. You know, you can have your swamp next turn, opponent. Do your worst. It's a pretty good hand. Pretty good board. What you got? You draw a land? Can you cast a spell? Alright, they decided to call it quits. Could also flicker the swamp. I don't think I want to, though. Lily! Shh. Alright, hang on. I gotta respond to this guy's DM. Which means I have to open up Discord here. XJ on the PC next year, I wish. If I ever like went to an SCG event and also did super well in them, and then also went to the invitationals or whatever. I gotta DM someone. You can't DM people. I don't know how fucking Discord searching works, but it never seems to work if you're not in any of the same servers as them. It's not what I wanted at all. Juicy TMs. It's PC the people's the Players Championships. It's the SCG event going on right now. Oh god. Oh, I clicked on the chat box and it took me back over to this window. Let's see. Does it do that if I just... No, we're good. Okay, here we go. Alright, there we go. Alright, we should be good. Hello, Lily. Okay, every time I click on this chat window, it just takes me back over here. It's super obnoxious. Permanent is Fencing Brick. I'd love to play first. Seems a little dicey. I'm kind of into it. On the play with Vile Port Wasteland, like it's a bummer, especially in the Astrolabe meta, where this hand could actually just be like very, very bad if my opponent's just an Astrolabe deck. I think especially because the port were pretty good. You're gonna get belched because you kept it. I hope not. I'm gonna keep this hand though. Deny. Yeah, we're gonna deny a lot of mana today, I suppose. Alright. My opponent says, turns out I don't have to drive 5 hours to lose to you this time. I don't know. Oh, wait, do I know who this is? Yeah, I think I do know who this is. Is this Brickman? I don't know his MTGO name. But I do have a track record of playing against Brickman, a Chicago local, in like a lot of events when he comes down to St. Louis. I just play against him like every time. think you could, like, pretty reasonably, mull this hand in the London Mulligan world. But I wouldn't fault people for keeping this hand. It's got a lot of powerful Magic cards. Yeah, that's the lands we want to see with this hand. That's for sure. Oh, not Thoughtseize, though. This hand is a little bit worse. Well, let's just top deck, like, Mom into Thalia or something. Life's great. Oh, that's okay. I'm just gonna rattle off this Wasteland rather than porting. I don't want to give him extra mana if he's on like a one-lander and he can fire off a Brainstorm or something. They're 2 discard spells, we just blank those. Ooh, fetching, I like it. Snow-Covered Island, I don't like it as much. We at least port it. Snow-Covered Island and Underground Sea, though, probably means a, like a bug Astrolabe deck, right? I guess it could be Ant, yeah. Didn't think about that with that series of cards, but certainly could. Just draw Thalia. Thalia's a good draw regardless of what my opponent's doing here, so I'm into it. Dang, unlucky. Looks nice and clean. I think it's a little bit, like, or I guess very much tuned towards a small metagame, which obviously a D&T list teched for 15 opponents versus a D&T list trying to play in 3 leagues are going to look a little bit different. But overall, it seems like a fine list. I don't know about the second port. They know about these 2 that are left. So I guess they know about the Wasteland, so I guess we want to play the Wasteland in case we need to end up like playing that. No, I don't think it matters because we can't like Wasteland double port in any of the following turns. So I guess the best play is probably just doesn't matter a ton. We're not wasted all of our luck on that game that we were crushing. Yeah, I think the double cannons and like the distinct lack of graveyard hate shows like a disrespect to a lot of the graveyard decks that I think are like running around in reasonable prevalence. There are like also 3 Hogak lists in the PC, so I don't know if Rountree like made an incorrect call or he thinks that like Canonist is good enough in that matchup or something. But like the 1 Crusader, 3 Revokers, I think Collin had a lot of ideas in mind of what he wanted to beat. Alright, it is just a bug deck. Not Storm, at least. But unfortunately, not Storm means we're gonna get smushed. Because we have nothing. Well, we have another Vial at least, so I'll just Wasteland, Port Vial. I'll let the Black Source. Wow, feels like an aggressive. They have an Oko? That feels like an aggressive. I guess they're like super under the gun of like mana denial, so maybe they're not casting the Oko anytime soon, but Force feels a little bit aggressive there. Ding. I'm not casting any spells this game, but neither are you. Yeah, this is just bug. That's what I thought. If it is Brickman, which I think it is. Not a combo player from what I know. Harry's rolling heavy. We might need to cast this Revoker on Oko now. Rather than double port. I think I do want to get something in play. Oko, Thief of Crowns. Could just get Fatal Pushed or something here, but could also not get Fatal Pushed. Brainstorm? No. Snapcaster. Target Ponder or Abrupt Decay, depending on if they have the land. Yeah, okay. So they already have the land. And they're just gonna decay my guy. Yep, there we go. Sure thing. Hopefully this means, hopefully this doesn't mean that one of my opponent's last 2 cards in hand is Oko. Because that would be hard to beat, but, definitely smells like it. But at least we can double port to prevent that from happening, hopefully. Ooh, it's the 4-color version? That's unfortunate. That's probably a really bad matchup. The old Misty Rainforest Scrubland. Oh, wow. That was an aggressive Snapcaster Mage. If it didn't cast anything. I just want Stoneforge for Sword of Fire and Ice here. Support State feels like it wants it. Probably messed up edges. Oh yeah, that could be it. Double Flooded Train might not be able to cast the Decay or something, because it can't get Bayou. And there's the Trop. There's probably only 1 Trop, so it can probably only... the Flooded Train probably couldn't get green. Yeah, that tracks. So that's a good call. Oh, he said in the chat. I thought I could fetch Decay Mana. Oh yeah, I'm just blind. Don't mind me. Grab Sword of Fire and Ice. Sorry for the opt-out questions. Have you had any experiences versus Oko with Bomberman yet? Yeah, don't mind other questions. I switched to Karn Scion for a while because I was scared of Oko on Mystic Forge and stuff, but overall was not super impressed with it, and I just switched back to Mystic Forge. I think Mystic Forge is just so powerful when your opponent's not turning it into an elk. Do you want to port green here? Probably better than... I guess we could also port black. It's between black and green. I think probably black is better. Not even 5 colors. What is this VS? I mean, I think he's playing the 4-color with Zedward Blast's list. Teferi, yeah. That tracks. Oh, I was probably supposed to cast Plow there. Maybe I don't want to Plow the Strix. I probably do, though. No matter what they bounce, I think I'm just going to cast and equip Sword next turn. And then hit them for 3, draw a card, shoot the Teferi. They could have a Plow or something in hand, which would really suck. They only have 1 card. They'll draw their 2nd here, though. I don't even know if this Delta could fetch. Oh, that's scary. Bouncing my Revoker. I am extremely concerned about an Oko. Especially the fact that my opponent was attempting to decay the Revoker and ended up just not being able to. I can't do anything about it. I should just F6. So maybe... I don't know. Hitting with the sword here is so good, though. Costs our whole turn if we get the sword elked. It's not the worst news because we can untap and Plow the Baleful Strix and send things at the Oko. I think this is our best shot to get the sword online. We can also shoot the Strix instead of the Teferi to play better against a possible Oko. If they elk the Sword of Fire and Ice, in that case, we'd only have 4 power though, so we actually still couldn't clear the Oko. And the Teferi getting to stick around on the board is just really obnoxious if we can't deal with it, so... We could also just go for their face, but I think we're just gonna ping this Teferi here. Yeah, getting elked is definitely the worst case scenario here, but this fetches the Bayou probably to make the mana better. Just the swamp. Might be able to pressure this Trop then. Me? That's rude. I'm not going to cast the Plow because I'd much rather have a creature than this Plow. I'll take it. Should have been playing less lands. Was not playing around him to Turok. I probably should have. I knew this list. Oh dear. Yeah, this is all bad. Now we don't have the plow for the Strix. Everything's bad. If we attack with both, it's just like double trade. Jeez, when we're flooding out pretty badly. This is probably the worst that turn could have gone for me. Would have much rather had the Revoker or the Sword Splashers in my hand than the Thalia. But obviously I would have much rather had the Thalia than the Sword if my opponent didn't have Oko. I think we just have to double trade Port the Trop and just get fucked by this thing making Elk every turn. Yes, we did not plan for him plus Oko, which maybe I should have respected more. Sort of Fire Nice line might have been greedy. Thought it might have been my best opening, but it also just might have been like severely greedy, and I could have gotten by putting the sword in, re-revoking Oko. Yeah, we're real shell-log. Maybe I shouldn't attack here. We could potentially draw something to kill, like draw another plow to kill those Strix, and I think the only thing that possibly keeps us in line with beating this Oko is an Oko, or as having a thing that can actually attack. Because then just the Stoneforge, but I don't know, if we draw Batterskull, we just cast it with so many lands. Maybe I should have just played around the Oko. Sword, shot the Strix, held up the plow for the Snapcaster Mage, just the best shot at clearing an Oko. Might have been the line I was supposed to take. Because the plays that they made like pretty heavily dictated that there was an Oko in their hand. So maybe I just like made a really bad play. Probably. I want to make this trade? Not really. We'll just pass the turn. God, passing the turn is so fucking bad though. Unless we draw another Revoker or something. I guess porting black might be better than porting green because we port both the black sources. It's a Snapcaster Mage. Oh, jeez. If we're getting Snappicate, it's probably time to throw in the old towel. Port this Tundra to expedite things. So I can have 6. I mean, the white mana doesn't do anything. You have no other cards in your hand. Just porting for life equity here. So we draw exactly Revoker. We're still in this game. Crusader keeps us in this game a little bit as well, or like Recruiter. This is the plow. So the plow lets us attack it a little better at least this turn. You can plow the Strix and double send at the Oko. Double blocks the sword with the Snapcaster Range probably, and then just makes an Elk and just crushes us. But I think this might be our best opening to do something. Maybe better just attack their face than they attack the Oko. The Oko just has more loyalty. Like if we deal 9, we're gonna have to deal over 9 damage to this Oko to get it off the board, so we might as well just go for my opponent's face. Although the Oko also just gains them more life, and they're flooding out, so. That plan's probably bad too, so I guess we do send at the Oko. We just need to draw a Recruiter, Revoker, potentially Crusader. Those are our only real plans here. Send everything at Oko. Probably double block. I could see single block. Yeah. I could see single block and like not block with the other one. Other Snapcaster chunk doesn't really seem super relevant because Oko just has 9,000 loyalty. Could pour it off white instead of green is probably better, because the only things that are green are decays and Okos, and the Oko's already in play. Whereas white's like Source of Pleasures, which draw a main deck Cataclysm. Could be a plan. Yeah, this is the board states that I really don't like drawing. Like, if we had a Gideon, if this was like a post-war game and we have a Gideon in our deck, oh, alright, we're not dead. Oko, Thief of Crowns. I mean, I'm just gonna pass the turn here. I guess I'm supposed to send here, because then that lets me send with the Revoker next turn and actually start trying to clean it up, at least, assuming they never hit removal. If they do hit removal, we're just dying anyway, so... Although potentially we could draw Wisp, and a Wisp or Fire Nest, which makes this attack worse. But I think I just want to get the Oko off the board. Which means now we'll pour white, so they can't top deck Plow or Teferi. Teferi wouldn't do a whole lot. Clear their thing or unelk their thing. Yeah, unelking their thing might. That sucks. We can continue to not be able to beat anything, so I'm just gonna send it like Snapcaster Mage. I hope my opponent never has anything. I also need to hope that we draw like Crusader, Recruiter of the Guard, not Fatal Push, not Abrupt Decay. Yeah, we could have ported off green to play around more decays, but I think they have more, I think they had like 2 plasma and 2 plus side or something. But I have no idea how many decays and stuff were in the deck. Wisp. Alright, well. Wisp this food token. Slow things down. Oh, sure, crack it. That's fine. Strix, that's a real bummer. I feel like we're very far behind here. Not an expert. I guess I am kind of an expert. Draw like Palace Jailer here? I don't know, because then we should contend with the Elk. Oh, that's definitely not what we want to draw. Probably want to concede and move on to the next game. Sure. Oh, the red man is main deck. Would not be surprised if this Volcanic actually doesn't cast any spells in their 60 though. Just like slightly greedier mana base, so you have one more sideboard slot. It's the first Astrolabe of the game. Gone through over half their deck. Attack me for 3. Attack with both. Oh dear. So I guess my Wisp is dead. Plague Engineer? Just a removal spell. Oh, 7, 8 mana? So I guess we just want Batter Skull. Wow, just the Oko's had enough enough loyalty that he just does not care. That's funny. Also probably accurate. Still, I don't think I want a GT here. Oh, just Force Will. That sucks. Literally close my eyes and activate Rashad Port at this point. Opponent has 2 Astrolabes to play. Port doesn't actually do anything. Don't know if anything gets us out of this jam at this point. We're taking 7 here. Oh, never mind. Just making the food. Thought we were going to take 7. Crusader. Alright, that's not nothing. It's probably not something either. We have to, like, keep attacking an Oko that, like, it doesn't matter that we keep attacking it either. Because it keeps going up a million loyalty. But if we're attacking my opponent's face, then they're just gaining life off of the food tokens. Like, that also doesn't matter. Yeah, it's a fun little sub-game called You Can't Kill Oko in Combat. More Strixes. Sure. My only hope is that there's 0 plows main deck, and my opponent can't kill my Mirren Crusader. It's a pretty loose hope. My expert opinion. Don't think that hope's gonna pay off very well. Yeah, when Astrolabe's in play, you mostly just port to deny them the access to mana, not deny access to colors. Certainly. Elking my Vial. Alright, well. So they're not attacking into my food. Or they're not attacking their food into my Vial anymore. But now we have an extra threat in play. I mean, maybe their hand is like a bunch of Force of Wills and they want to be able to beat 3 drops or something. We could plow the food. I still can't send with anything though, because if I like attack with a Wisp Vial, like it just still gets blocked by Strix. So I think attack Crusader and Oko, and that's it, is still my best play, and just hold on to this plow. Alright, they don't have a plow yet, at least. Boarding at this point just out of vigilance. Don't want to let them just like hardcast Force Wills for no reason. This is Tiff. Tiff bounce the Crusader and then counter it on the way back. We're gonna plow this food token. Yeah, once this Crusader gets countered, I'm probably just gonna throw in the towel. We burned a lot of time on this game 1, but it's been an interesting one. Other than the fact that Oko hit the board and then we literally could. Oh, okay, they could Thoughtseizes it too. That works. Other than the fact that Oko hit the board and then we immediately lost the game. Wisp out the Oko for 1 whole turn. If this resolves. If we draw a 3rd plow, we can potentially attack down the Oko. But it has 4 cards in hand, so not likely. Also, we didn't hit. Probably just passing the turn and losing this game. We just like don't want to waste time because this game is essentially unwinnable. I mean, it's miserable, but we were also dead like 3 turns ago. Would have like not felt bad about conceding. Drown and block. It's neat. Yeah, now we're just getting beat down on. Wow, beaten out with everything. Alright, I'll take it. Alright, sideboard time. Yes, 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 yes. Not any of those. Probably this Needle. Needle's really miserable against, like, Teferi plus, like, Abrupt Decays and stuff. Might be better than something in this deck, so I'll put it in the maybe pile. Like, trying Ballista would have been nice to some way that game. Probably would have got countered, but... so this deck, Mana Nile actually seems, like, pretty powerful against... The deck can, like, make its mana work with Astrolabes and basics and stuff, obviously, but they do play a lot of non-basics. Like, we just looked at my opponent's mana base. Especially during, like, the starting turns of that game. So it doesn't feel like a matchup where I want to, like, trim on Thalias or something, although maybe, like, Postmortem Plague Engineers means I want, like, less of them. Good old blue soup indeed. I'll probably shave on, like, one Revoker. Revoker's good against Oko, bad against the rest of their deck. Prelate, kind of decent. They probably have, if they don't have Plow's main board, they definitely have Plow's post board. Because they're playing white, and that's like a pretty free roll card to run. So Prelate definitely loses some luster. Also the fact that we have to name 2-drop removal or Okos / Teferi and stuff. It's, none of it's really a winning proposition, but I think this iteration is probably okay. Batter Skull, but Vile, Port, Flicker Wisp. Oh god, I hate this Batter Skull so much. The rest of the hand's really good. They don't counter my Vile. Wow, what a jerk. Pitch an Oko at least. Nice. Thought sees me. You got it. My hand's bad. Take the mom? Yeah. That tracks. Ooh, a wasteland that my opponent does not know about is kind of neat. So if they like play non-basic, we can wasteland it. Import them again. Nice, I'm in. Fuck off, Tundra. Yeah, I want to port here. Maybe I'm supposed to play Revoker, get my clock going, but I don't know if they're going to continue to hit land drops here. They are, okay. Porting Swamp. This does turn off, like, potential, like, Baleful Strix or Hymn to Tarok or something, so... Not unreasonable. Another Thoughtseize? Yeah. I wonder what the take is here. Revoker, sure. Lines up better with my current state of affairs. The land came to Tarok me. Game over. Okay, that's not him to Tarok land, that's Baleful Strix land. Yep. If we had a land drop, we can cast this Wisp. Yeah. If Astrolabe didn't draw a card, would be alright. It'd probably be unplayable if it didn't draw a card. Spending a mana to fix your mana. Spending a mana and a card to fix your mana. Generally not a winning strategy. Take them off green. Potentially not get Oko'd here or something. More Strixes. Bad News Bears. Can't really get through this Strix wall very well. We want to draw like... I don't know what we want to draw here. Not an Aether Vial, that's for sure. If we attack then pro color, probably just get eaten alive by removal. But if we don't... The worst is if they have like a Plow in hand and we just don't even get to clear a Strix. So we might just want to sit at parity for a tiny bit and just wait it out until we find like a better opening. Something I want to walk into, just attack, get plowed, lose my Wisp for no value, and my mom's tapped, and then they like play no-go and crush me. Looking like that's gonna happen anyway, but it's like a Jace? No, not double blue. That's just an Oko, and they want to have the mana accessible on hand. Okay, yeah, here's the play. So they elk this. I can like give my Flickerous Pro whatever, they can just plow it in response, and then we're pretty dead to double Strix plus this Oko. I guess I could save the mom, right? At least attempt to, and then he gets plowed. Yeah. It's better than like giving the Flickerous Pro something that doesn't matter. Yeah, we're pretty boned here. Can't imagine a world that we can actually take this without drawing Cataclysm. Like our Stoneforge is just gonna get elked. Opponent knows my whole hand, so we can have 6 here. They know the batters go from the previous 2 Thoughtseizes. Yep. Stoneforge Elk. So we drew a land, so we can attempt to get the sword online. Obviously, my opponent probably will have something to say about that. It has to be like Abrupt Decay, though, because they can't like Snap Plow or anything. So my best bet is probably just, like, punch the Oko for 5 or something. We can't even kill it then. It doesn't even fucking die. It's gonna go to 1, and then I can elk my sword. Ugh. This is all assuming my opponent has nothing. We, like, still can't get this Oko off the board. Might want to actually, like, punch my opponent here and shoot down a Strix, and then they elk the sword, and then we have, like, 9 power things in play, and they're at, like, 7 with 1 blocker. That might actually be the better play, assuming they have nothing. Might just be better to try and put pressure on the creatures that are in play. I mean, yeah. 4 Snapcaster Mage being the last 2 cards here. Sucks a lot. We can't realistically do anything with this Batter Skull because we don't have enough mana to pick it back up. If it gets elked, and even if we did have that much mana, we have to like spend that. We have to spend 8 mana like, picking up the Batter Skull, protecting it and stuff. We definitely want to. We need to find something like this Crusader. Do we want to play a Batter Skull and have it get elked? Probably not. Probably just want to hold on to it. Port the Scrub Lane's the only thing that can kill my Crusader. Just has 8 billion loyalty. Elk the Vial again. Alright, well, put in the Crusader again. This is a turn that we might want to play the Batter Skull just because we just get we have a bunch of power in play. Is this getting himmed? No, it's Plague Engineer naming Elemental, I guess. Name Human just to like subdue the Crusader. Name Elk. Make my things 2/2s. Okay, name's Elemental, sure. Jailer doesn't do dick, because there are 2 flyers in play. There's a chance we can make Jailer do something by attacking with everything. And then we have to fade a removal spell. Because they can elk their food. We send everything. They probably just trade with, like, Strix Engineer and leave the other Strix. And then, well, I guess they just, yeah, they trade off 2. And then we Jailer the last one and try to fade a removal spell for a turn. We get to hit them for 4, put them to 7. I think I want to attack their face. And just make them dead to this Crusader before they can answer it, I think is the plan. Attack their face with all creatures. Lurtzer, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Yeah, the problem is that, like, when you attack their face because the Oko is harder to kill, then, like, they can just use their extra mana and, like, crack the food tokens that they make to gain more life, so it's harder to kill them. Ooh, it's a heads-up play. Or is it? So this is fine. They just take more damage, right? Because now they're at 4, which puts them in, like, real danger of dying to this Mirror Crusader. They need to crack a food next turn, which means we could potentially play the Batter Skull to make more attackers. If they elk the Batter Skull, they have 2 blockers to my 2 attackers, but we can Jailer one of the blockers. I think this is a good turn to play Batter Skull, actually. If they elk it, we have 2 3/3s, and this, they can crack up to 7, but if they have nothing else, we can Jailer one of the creatures. Plays definitely play Skull. Interesting choice to block there. So now the play is they have 1 card in hand. They have the access to the food. So they attack with both. Put them to 1. Jailer the Strix, attack with both. Put them to 1. Hopefully. And then we have 2 creatures, we get to draw a card. If they elk their food token and attack me, we have 2 lethal attackers and they don't have a blocker or anything, so... This is definitely a desperation attempt here, but... I wonder if it's more correct to actually Jailer the Engineer so they don't draw the card. Because they have to block here, assuming they have nothing. So yeah, this is actually not a correct... I guess they could just crack the food, go to 1. And just have the Strix in play anyway, but I don't think that wins either. If they have, like, Snapcaster Mage, we're just super dead here, right? Because they can't actually flash anything back, they don't have a decay. I'll play this Aether Vial. Don't think there's a lot of merit in bluffing a Swords to Plowshares. If I Jailer the Engineer, they could crack the food and go to 1, but then we have 3 creatures in play. Yeah, the problem is if they elk, take Monarchy. I guess I would chump block rather than letting them have Monarchy, so it's not a huge deal. If I find a removal spell with this Ponder, then we're pretty dead, right? Unless we draw something to get the Strix out of the way, like a Flicker Wisp or a second Jailer or something. They did not shuffle on that Ponder. Does it make you dead? Which... Yeah, if they draw a removal spell, and then elk my thing, then we're super dead. We need to top deck Wisp, Recruiter. Yeah, this was the scenario that we probably wanted to. Oh dear, second Plague Engineer, that's bad. This is all bad. Might just be dead now. If we draw Cataclysm. Flicker Wisp. Oh, Flicker was so close to killing them. Fuck. We get a Flicker Wisp. The Engineer forced them to block with the Strix here, and then we have Flicker Wisp as potential. Attempted lethal. Obviously, they get to, like, gain 3 life every turn, so it's not actual lethal. They can also just, like, take my Wisp, right, and give me something shitty at some point. Ugh. We have 5 minutes left. Wait, no, we Flicker the Engineer, and they just kill my Wisp on re-entry. They just name Elemental. Yeah. We could kill their Elk and say go. Flicker the food, yeah. Kill their Elk. We only have 4 minutes left. We're definitely not playing a game 3, but I don't know if there's a possibility that we win this game. Unlikely. I think it definitely involves just Flicker Wisping this Elk. I hope they didn't draw this Plague Agent off the Strix. Like, my play might have turned out to be very bad if that was the case. Taking them out to 3 and trying to cheese? Maybe? Probably not, though. When does the Flickers actually give me the ability to cheese, right? They're gonna, like, they get the ability to gain 3 life every turn, which means the Wisp is never lethal anyway. If they make Elks. Yeah, but they can't, like, make an Elk this turn. I think my opponent's gonna be, like, very aware that they're at 1 life. There's no reason to not just, like, hold a food in stasis. They're sitting on the Monarchy now, too, so, like, we're just super far behind. Yeah, Oko is the exact reason that, like, I just really don't like Palace Jailer in these matchups. I know Phil and Daryl have been testing the strategy of, like, leaving in some number of plows to try to, like, defend that strategy. I feel like just going at different angles of attack is probably more beneficial. I don't think we win this game without, like, drawing Cataclysm, realistically. We just probably stop playing my land drops. Probably shouldn't have played the one last turn. Oof. We're definitely going to time out for game 3, even if we, like, rip Cataclysm, they don't have Force of Will, and then, like, we actually, like, somehow get this game. But yeah, I'm just, like, very uninterested in Jailer in these types of matchups. It's just, like, is really hard to line up properly. In the face of Oko just being so pressuring. Deciding on whether they want to fetch or draw their card that they brainstormed. Yeah, they draw the card. I think they're considering, if they go to 3, like, it might be dangerous. If they don't have a Force in hand and we draw, like, a Flicker Wisp, they could just die if they fetch to make the brainstorm better. I guess we could play the second land, but I think playing towards Cataclysm is better than, like, porting their infinite lands. Yeah, so now they can fetch because they know they're not dead. And they get to untap and plus the Oko again. Which means that they can go above 3. Yeah, imagine my opponent's just, like, sitting on Force blue card, and as soon as we draw on Cast Cataclysm, we just die anyway. It's not nothing. It's not really something. I'm gonna just cast it here, I think. My opponent has not cast a hit him to Turok. Oh yeah, it just dies. That's funny. Did not think about that. Ballista. Ballista probably doesn't do it. Ballista for 2. Ping the Strix. I was thinking second Jailer the Strix and have like some elk blockers. We could get Crusader, but they probably have Snaplow. We're probably dead, and I'm like floundering for no reason. They get like Force Will with Jailer if they want, probably. I don't know if there's an optimal choice there. Could attempt to attack for lethal. That's bad. Don't do that. I think realistically the only way we're winning is if somehow defending the monarchy, which is pretty impossible here, it feels like. Yeah, if they just have an annual rule spell. There's a Gideon. It's a follow-up. And the Gideon's probably just gonna get, like, beat up by elk tokens. Yeah, to ferry the vial. Elk the food, attack me for 5. And then we're gonna play Gideon, zero it, make a thing, and my opponent's gonna have like 8 power of creatures in play. Drawing cards, 4 drops that aren't Cataclysm. Suck in this matchup unless they're like being cast on turn 4. If my opponent has actual nothing and we draw Flicker Wisp, I think we do with lethal, right? We can Flicker the Plague Engineer and Gideon Emblem and take them for 3. Oh no, they get the Strix back, never mind. Forgot about that. But yeah, no, we're dead. We will happily concede here. Okay, yeah, and then should another Strix. Sure. Yeah, the 4-color, whatever, 5-color is probably your worst matchup, realistically, in Legacy now. Some people are just playing like the solid bug versions, and those are at least more serviceable because they don't have access to Source of Plowshares, but the fact that the Baleful Strix deck can also play Source of Plowshares is like just really bad for Death and Taxes. It's the same reason that the 4-color control matchup was always really bad. Because you couldn't lean on Crusader to try to fight them, because they just got bolts until they stopped playing bolt, and then Crusader got good again. But if the blue-black X control deck is also getting to play Sword of the Plowshares, it just makes your Crusader a lot worse, so you don't really have these like silver bullet beaters to try to beat them down with. Seems okay. Definitely risky. I'm glad they put no code. It's so fun to play against and to watch. Also not dominating the board too much. Yeah, definitely. 100% agree. Interesting and dynamic Magic card. Very interesting play patterns. Just enjoyable all around. I guess I'm going to cast a Stoneforge. We'll just get Batterskull with this one, force them to answer it. We have 2 more Stoneforges. Ding. So, my guess was Miracles. Now it's not. Could still be Miracles. The main deck vault. Wow, rude. Land? No, technically what I asked for. Not good, though. Yeah, GG's. Yeah, unfortunately, Oko, very hard card to beat on board. Also, people keep playing 4-drops on the sideboard that aren't Cataclysm and like trying to fight grindy decks, and I just don't understand it. Like, you draw Gideon, and it's like, wow, if this were a Cataclysm, it's so much better, except for like explicitly on turn 4 of the game where you're like trying to be really proactive. Like, every other turn when you're trying to like rip powerful cards, it's just like, wow, I really wish I could draw Cataclysm. The Sultai Snowverse Snow match. Oh yeah, I heard about that. Was that the Lisette match? Jesus. Could be Mentor. Yeah, it could be Mentor. Definitely, those decks dropped off pretty fast with the Ren 6 ban though. Mentor was like the next iteration of Miracles when Miracles was bad during the reign of Ren 6. So when Ren 6 got banned, Miracles came back and the Mentor decks died off. I guess we just Battle Skull here. Thoughts on Cata Gideon split over 2 Cata? I was just talking about that. I don't like 4-drops that aren't Cataclysm in these matchups. People have been trying them to play proactive strategies against these like grindfest decks, but like unless you have the Gideon in your opening hand, you don't get like Thoughtseize or anything, and you get to like cast it on turn 4 when you have other creatures in play and stuff, and you're just continually the aggressor in the matchup. Like, your 4-drops are always going to be worse than Cataclysm. Like, when you draw them on, like, turn 6 or 7 or 8 or anything beyond. Like, exactly, like, curving out, playing a Gideon on the top. Like, it just feels so miserable to draw Gideon when your opponent just has an Oko in play. If you have your Gideon in play and your opponent has an Oko, it's a little bit better. Because you get to, like, plus your Gideon and, like, attack the Oko for 5, and they have to, like, chump block with Elks and stuff. But, like, if you're ever on the back foot, even a little bit, your 4-drops get so much worse than Cataclysm. Yeah, I think we're just passing. This Karagas sucks. I want to get this Violent play, but I also want to just play Batter's Skull. Lived in Fear Cataclysm turned out tank super hard on the Batter's Skull. Yeah. I'm just playing Rountree's list, and he's playing like a Palace Jailer and a Gideon in the sideboard. A Palace Jailer, Gideon, and 1 Cataclysm, so we have access to 1, but like we drew a Gideon towards those last couple of turns of that game, and I was just like, wow, if like this was a Cataclysm, we have a shot. If there's anything else, we just like can't ever win. What you got, opponent? Notably, I was too busy ranting about Cataclysm, but my opponent cast an AK, so I guess they are just like miracles, just straight up and down. This feels a lot like a Swords to Plowshares on my Batter Skull, but alright. You got it, bud. Shiromuni, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Terminus, not a great hit. Notably, we are very scared of every Brainstorm now. Put in this Batter Skull and be sad about it. Some of the Team CT Fuge good. Yeah, I've registered 3 Cataclysms before, just like very legitimately. It's like I would probably just be running Cataclysms. I know the list that Daryl played and the list that, like, I know Phil had talked with Daryl, and Phil has, like, a whole different, like, concept of, like, how to try to attack the Oko decks with, like, leaving in plows to, like, help clean up Elks and try to, like, control the game with Monarchy and stuff, but it just never feels like it works out. Oko is just cheaper than your Haymakers, and if you can't answer Oko just, like, immediately, then your 4-drops just, like, just lose so much impact. Our lands suck. I think I want to send both of these in our set. And just cast a creature. Yeah. a Sword of Fire Knights in our hand, so it makes it so that if they want to minus their Narset again, we can at least has to die. We also could revoke the Narset here. I'm a little bit more concerned with Jace, because they have a Terminus. But if they just, like, play a Jace and Brainstorm with it, then at least we can just attack the Jace and clean it up. So maybe I just name Narset anyway. I don't think it really matters. Yeah, that's kind of my feelings on it. Wow, Forcible. Yeah, like, leaving in plows, and, like, they specifically take an extremely aggressive stance, and, like, that's why you play the Gideons, because you just want to, like, curve out and put pressure on them. But, like, it just never feels super useful to me. I've messed around with the cards, I've messed around with the idea before, and just... it always just feels like garbage. Feels like you, like, never... You sometimes get to be ahead in those games, but the games where you get to be ahead like that, and proactive and like Mana Denial and stuff, those are some of the games that you get to win anyway. The games that you don't win are the ones where your opponent has like early Oko and you don't have the answer for it, and that's why you need Cataclysm. You need that catch-up card, because you don't just get to play the aggressor every game, because that's just not how Devon Taxes operates. Alright, sure. Oko's definitely... I'm more happy with Oko existing than Ren at 6, that's for sure. Although, inversely, I think your matchup against the Oko decks right now it's worse than the matchups of the previous Ren 6 decks, because the best Ren 6 deck was Rug Delver, and that matchup was a lot better for D&T than like these Oko control decks are, but that's the merit of them being like grindy control decks versus Delver decks, and that's just always been the case of D&T's better against Delver than the control decks. Elkma Stoneforge, sure. I've just not been paying any attention to this game at all. I feel pretty out of it since we just haven't hit a land drop since like turn 6. I've just been busy ranting about the control matchup and Cataclysm and stuff. So my opponent has cast a Brainstorm. There's very likely to be a Terminus on the top of my opponent's deck. We could recruit a Flickerwisp to flicker our Batterskull. We'd play a second Stone, or play our other Stoneforge to get our last equipment, and like play the Aether Vial out. It's like 100% chance we're getting Terminus, I imagine, because my opponent wants to untap and just control the game with this Oko. So I think I want to get Aether Vial in play and then just play the Stoneforge just to like make sure my opponent pulls the trigger on the Terminus. I don't really care about this other Stoneforge getting Terminus necessarily. We get the equipment out of our deck and stuff. And the follow-up play can be trying to roof over this Oko and hoping my opponent doesn't have like removal spells or something. Have I really been this out of this game? My opponent has cast 3 Source of Plowshares. What happened to my third creature? I have 2 in exile. Oh, they played the Germ token. Yeah, that's it. I've been completely out of this game. Just operating off of, like, muscle memory. It's a miracle. If we had, like, a port, we could have played around this Terminus, but alas. We have these 2 Wastelands. Playing 3 Council Judgment. 3 Council Judgments, like, fine. Definitely more broadly applicable than 3 Cataclysms. That's for sure. Yeah, I think we just gotta revoke her. Recruiting Flickerwisp probably just takes too long, and we just want to hope that my opponent can't answer my Revoker, but also plays worse with this Vial. But we could also recruit her for a second Revoker next turn if we need to. Oko, Thief of Crowns. It's a miracle! Is this one actually a miracle? No, I don't think so. think they didn't shuffle after their Brainstorm yet, because there's no fetch land after it. So I think they did just put 2 Terminus on top. Elk my Vial. Alright, you got it. Definitely is a little bit more annoying here. We can at least pressure this Oko, though. AK for 2 cards. Yeesh. We have this Plow to potentially get past other Elk tokens that are in the way. So we could try to put the pressure on this Oko here. A Thalia. I think I like Recruiter more than Thalia here. Recruit a Wisp to reactivate my Batter Skull. Also have the option to just cast Source of Plowshares if they make an Elk blocker. Also the option to like get Pallet. Pallet Share feels really greedy though. There's the Astrolabe. Gotta imagine my opponent has Mystic Sanctuaries in their deck, and that's bad news. Apply my file. What's this? Double White Council's Judgment? Supreme Verdict, I see. Okay. It's kind of bad news, because now if we Flicker Wisp our Batter Skull, they can Elk it. Hey, we don't have to Lotus Petal ourselves anymore. That's nice. I think I'm into just Wisping my Batter Skull. If they Elk it, then we can untap and Plow their food token and still like pressure this Oko down pretty well. Our other plans involve just like casting a Thalia and like casting Plow and just like not enough damage on the board to try to pressure this Oko. I could Wasteland here. Opponent is only on 1 green source. I guess they have Astrolabe, so it doesn't actually matter. Just take them off of 5 mana, which probably isn't a big thing. We want our mana more because we have all these equipment in hand. Alright, if this Scalding Tarn being Sanctuary, we're in a spot of trouble, certainly. Hopefully we can get the Oko off the board before then, though. Yep. Jeez, oof. That's bad. That's really bad. So now we can only kill one of them. We have to clear the Jace. So if that means there is Terminus, then that's extremely bad news. Ooh, Factory. That makes things better. So we plow the food token. We have 4 mana. We can like play and equip the Jite, send 1 thing at Jace, send 1 thing at Oko. Probably send. Oh god, we have to send 1 thing at each, and they can like have their 4th. They have to have exactly 4th plow because they don't have enough mana for Snapcaster. They can snap to block, but I think step 1. Step 2. So I guess we attack. We send the Flickers at the Jace because that's less likely to get chump blocked by Snapcaster Mage. Send Flicker Wisp holding Jite at. Oh, they forced the Jite. Interesting. All right. So now I guess we send Wisp at Jace, Batterskull at Oko. They have 4th plow with the last card. No. Alright, the Thalia because we're probably getting Terminus here. Or not. Or maybe we are. They just have the third Terminus naturally. Ooh, Entreat the Angels. Alright, yeah, we're pretty fucking dead. I see. Yeah. Not beating that one. Now we gave it the old college try. Definitely not dead before then. Certainly dead now. It's like, what, 4 angels? If only they would play the Thalia, they'd only have 3 angels. Elk my Wisp, sure. Yeah, I'd say we could probably pack it in. We play the Sword of Fire and Ice, they get to Elk the Sword of Fire and Ice after like chump blocking or double blocking. It would take us 5 mana, we have 6 mana, so we can't play the Thalia after. We have 3 3s into 4 4s. Not gonna do it, certainly. Alrighty then. Grab these guys. Lean a lot less on Mother of Runes in this matchup because of the ubiquity of Terminus. Crusader I'm not sure about. Because it does line up well against Oko and like elk blockers and stuff, but it's obviously really bad against just Swords to Plowshares, which is really easy to pick off. I think Thalia is definitely more important here than in the bug matchups because they don't have access to like Plague Engineer and stuff. We got 2 cards to cut, at least 3 if we want 2 Crusaders. Might be a world where we're just supposed to start cutting the GTA again. There's a point where against Miracles we were not cutting the GTA because we had other cards to cut, and B, like it makes the value of your third Stoneforge better. Because you don't want to cut out Stoneforge, you don't want to like shave a Stoneforge in the matchup because the first couple are very good because getting Sword of Fire and Ice Batter's Close strong. But maybe that dichotomy has changed. Maybe it's like maybe your equipment sucks more because of the existence of Oko. So we could do like this. Rogue just sucks butts against Terminus. It's so good against Planeswalkers. This is like always the awkwardness, the tension of Revoker is that you want to try to answer these powerful Planeswalkers, but like Revoker's really bad at answering Planeswalkers because the big Planeswalker control decks just kill your Revoker and move on. I think I'd rather have a Crusader than the third Revoker. Ship like that. Yike. One single yike. Oh, did we not cut plows? Oh, I'm just dumb. Never mind. I guess we're accidentally trying the don't board out plows to attack the Elk Spine. This hand's really bad. I wouldn't say it's really bad. Not great. 2 into 3. Probably much better here than against Bug for similar reasons. They're a lot more loaded on 1s. They don't have as variable of removal. Worse against Oko. Yeah, good thing we have Gideons. Accidentally trying out the Daryl plan. I think even then, I think they like shave 1 or 2 swords. I think we just have a playset in our deck still. Maybe we'll just draw Gideon and then like have a Swords to Plowshares. Just get him. That's a good pickup. It's a card we have not drawn in a while. And we're just gonna slam Sanctum Prelate here. Sort of Splashers. We get elked. We get elked. It's life. Casting Prelate here is probably better, much better against Plow. Like if we just cast Crusader and they just have Sword Splashers, we're just sad. This Brainstorm. Oh god. We should have to play the game of do they have Terminus in hand now? Can we afford to name 6 here? Probably not. We just have to like not get Terminus. Probably just have to name 1. 1's just so much better on this board state. Alright, they're fetching. Good sign. Means that they don't have Terminus on the top of their deck, and they might be like casting a Plow on this Ballista or something. Deal. Now I will definitely name 1 here. And I'm gonna go land Oko, Elk your Prelate. Unless we get to Judgment Dead after that. Holy shit, it didn't get elked. Fortunately, we do have to play the Snapcaster Mage subgame as well. Attacking with a 2-2 with a very relevant onboard ability sucks when your opponent has Snapcaster Mages in their deck. So maybe we just go Factory Crusader. And don't attack into it. It's just like such a blowout if they just flash in Snapcaster Mage. We could get Supreme Verdicted. We got Supreme Verdicted last game, right? It's like kind of dangerous to not attack here. Oh, did they just like blind it? They don't have the Miracle Bluff, I don't think. So maybe that was, they just drew Retreat. Reading Verdicted. Yep. All these all suck. I'm gonna play 1 more land out here, just so we can like Council's Judgment and activate Factory in the same turn or something. Using Castle Ardenvale. Great because of Force of Virtue and spots. It's probably better than the maybe they do have the Miracle Bluff. I just like haven't been paying attention. Probably better than the Mistveil planes that I was trying, but like not great. You also like don't need a tremendous amount of help in those matchups because Squadron Hawk does a lot of heavy lifting already. Castle Ardenvale is extremely mana intensive still. Jace. Mentor, oh dear. My opponent is on Mentors. Well, let's try one of these plows that we left in. Dicks. Dicks. Well, I'm probably pretty dead now. Let's draw Gideon so I get to complain about how it's not Cataclysm, even though Cataclysm would not save me. They just keep like Island, Arkham's Astrolabe, Mentor, and then still like crush me into the dirt. Am I supposed to like just... There's no way I'm supposed to try to block with Mishra's Factory here. There's absolutely no way. Unless the way is hope they have actual Stone Cold Nothing and attacked into my factory because they missed it, and then they get wrecked. I don't think it's a very good plan, though. Right. Flicker Wisp, one of your monks. Take that, opponent. Yeah, I think they do have the Miracle Bluff. Just been like really zoning out. Okay, there's the plow. Figured they very likely had one. They were supposed to go for the block and just lose. We have 4 plows in our deck, so it's not unreasonable to actually try to draw one of them because we accidentally didn't put out any of the plows. I think it's much better than just like playing into getting wrecked by this mentor. Oh yeah, never mind, we're dead. Top deck Cataclysm into Swords of Plowshares, or maybe the other way. It's better. I'm not actually sure. No, probably the first way. Oh, Fate's selling me. Sure. Yeah. Alright, I'm done with this game. Drew a lot of lands. Getting smushed by a lot of control decks. There we go. Alright. What do we got? I hate this hand. Oh god, I hate this hand too. Force of Will this, please. Come on, come on. Come on, counter it. Yes. Fucking deal. That's how we come back from mulligans. Get our first Vial Force Will and have a second Vial in hand. Now play a non-basic so I can Wasteland and play a Vial. Yes! It's all working out exactly how I needed to in order to have a chance in this game. Then we get to Wasteland them, play the second Vial. Get to Schadenport them, put in a Mom. We just need to draw like a Thalia. Everything's fine. Nothing is on fire. Also, this does just look like another Bug or Bug X or Bug X control deck. Counter this one too, sure. We got plenty of lands where this came from. Yeah, pitching Drowned Block looks like we might be up against the 5-color deck. Drowned Block's like a weirdly specific choice, but they could be just playing Drowned Block and normal Bug, for all we know. Lock, 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 lock. They never do. They would draw the fetch land. This is why I don't play Brainstorm decks, though. Whenever I cast this Brainstorm, 0 fetches. I'm super dead right here. I can never beat this. Yeah. Never works. I'll play the Smelter Ruins. Scalding Turn's an interesting one. Are they on, like, check mana? Scalding Turn doesn't find, like, bayous. Alright, check mana it is. Sinkhole the Mom, alright. Could be worse. I'll port the blue mana so they can't, like, ponder for more land drops or whatever. Dang, never lucky. double porting or are we wisp porting here? Kind of want to flicker wisp port or revoker port. We could just revoker on Oko and Rishon port. Check mana is all white. Yeah, check pile is the name for 4-color non-white control. I don't know why. Probably because some Czech people were the first ones that made it. Yeah, I think I need to get shit in play. They have 2 cards in hand. Yeah, I would not be surprised if the original creator was Czech. That's why it's like isn't like a lot of weird names. Like, isn't there like Team Italia or something? Isn't that like another name for bug? Is it Team America? Team America's not blue, white, red. I know that. I don't know. Sure. Oko Thief of Crowns. I don't know if that was just a fetch for fetch's sake or someone who thought that a rogue could name fetches. You see a lot of those fetches online. I don't know why. Oh, we're playing a Strifo pile? Alright, never mind. I don't even know why I'm still playing this game. This deck and sideboard are not very well equipped to fight Strifo pile. That's for sure. Cast their Dak Phaeton or whatever. Is Strifo on Okos? He's gotta be on Okos. The card's busted. Opponent's gonna cast Oko and we're gonna tie. Nice. Yeah, I don't like people. I ranted about this in the Death Tags Discord. People think that like, one of the most powerful things to be doing is using this very powerful card with an activated ability. So D&D should be playing a bunch of Phyrexian Revokers to fight it. But like, yes, Phyrexian Revoker is good against the card Oko, and it was like good against Renin 6. But like, because it's good against the card, right? Because you name it and they can't use it anymore. But like, Revoker's so bad against all the decks that played Renin 6 and all the decks that currently play Oko. And that's just something that people miss a lot, is that it's good against the card, but it's not good against the strategy that the card is played in. Oh god, trying to get Batterskull here? I get Sword? I guess we get Sword. Potentially try to like clear the Oko, like one-shot it or something. Yeah, Sword means that if they, like, elk their food, we can only take it for 5. Ugh, why does Oko have, like, 900 loyalty? Oko fucking sucks. Draw, if they have nothing, they elk their food and we draw a land. We still can't even clear the Oko, Jesus. Playing normal D&T feels miserable against these Oko decks. Probably just gonna not put in the Sword here. Just like pile of food, attack the Oko for 4 or something. That's a bad sign. I don't like this. That's very scary. That attack is completely unreasonable unless the 2 cards in my opponent's hand are going to completely roast me. Like, we could cast our Sword of Fire and Ice and put it on something now. Yeah, that attack is extremely Monka-esque. Oh, God. So, like, we could try to clear this Oko here. If my opponent's hand is punishing fire, we can force them to P-fire the Mystic by equipping to the Mystic, hit the Oko for 3, or next level Mind Games. Yeah, or it's just really bad play, but, like, this would be an extraordinarily bad play. For, like, absolutely no reason. If they have, like, another Force Negation here, that's wait, this isn't the Force Negation game. Oh, it was, yeah, it got exiled. It got delved. I think I have to cast this. Yeah, this definitely smelled like Punishing Fire to me. This way we put the Oko down to 3. If they elk the sword, we can plow the elk and clear up the Oko, ideally. Petty Theft. Ugh. At least we get to recast the Stoneforge Mystic. Not all bad. Do have to watch out for a Brazen Borrower, though. If they just elk my sword and pass the turn, they have more blockers for my Oko now. Where's Lily? She's hanging out right there. Did you feed everyone? No, they haven't eaten yet. This is like round 4, I think? Yeah. Still eating a second. I'm gonna feed all the animals after this. If I get up now, then like Lily wakes up and then just everything goes badly. Only has 1 card in hand. Can't imagine there's like, because I don't know what the card is, but can't be too many decisions here, right? Elk the Wisp. This is good for me. If they don't have something in hand, we can plow this food token out of the way and then clear the Oko. Plow the food token, equip the Sword to the Wisp, attack the Oko, and then cast the Stoneforge Mystic for Batter Skulls. Not bad. It costs 5 mana total. So it doesn't really matter if we play this land. So step 1, let's equip. Step 2, plow the food token. Do like Force of Will is plow. Then we probably still send it the Oko because they can't double block, so they'd have to just chump with the food token. They have like a Decay or a Trophy. But I'm not very happy. Let's attack this Oko. They have a Trophy. Yeah, I'm not very happy. Sure. All you have left to cast is this Brazen Borrower. Let's get Batter Batter Skull here. Equipping does not do a whole lot. Porting also doesn't do a whole lot. Could prevent Cantrip into something, though. Next turn, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana, so you can still equip plus cast Batter Skull next turn anyway. The equipping probably does more than... Maybe not, because the Fire and Ice is more than likely getting elked, I think. Sure, yeah, whatever. This is good, probably doesn't matter. Because I think like their only realistic play here is to elk my sword. Yeah. Probably kind of a wasted port. Attack me. Well, they can't block me, so... I always forget this thing can't block creatures without flying. Ooh. Alright, I'm interested in recruiting now. Kind of want to... Is it greedy to get... Jailer here? See what their last card is. If they have something. Like Jailer's Brazen Borrower. I feel pretty ahead. Could also just like Jailer for Wisp or something. Ballista for 2. Shoot, ping the Borrower. They like another Borrower. I'm very unhappy. Alright. Can't steal the Monarchy this turn at least. My reasoning for the Jailer here is that I'm concerned that if my opponent finds a Grove of the Burnwillows at any point, that we are going to get ground into the dirt. Because we don't have a good answer for this Punishing Fire. We can't really get Prelate until the Oko's off the board. We could have like Flick Whisk the Recruiter and then grabbed like a Prelate afterwards or something. But I think I want to just try to grind with them since they're so low on resources. Could definitely come back to bite me though, especially because we have to make wide sweeping attacks at this Oko to try to play around with removal and stuff. Maybe the Wisp play was better because we get our Sword of Fire and Ice back online. Well, the Fire and Ice is dangerous because we're playing against Strifo pile, so like getting the Fire and Ice online and then just getting it dacked is pretty bad for me. At least with the Batter Skull we can like hold up 3 mana and try to like pick it up and stuff. They did not shuffle on the Ponder. And then cast Brainstorm. I kind of want to just start triple porting my opponent too. Just really choking them out on mana. Yeah, there's the Grove that I was worried about. They just not activate their Oko. I'll take it. I will certainly allow it. We could port the Badlands right now to bait out the P-Fire, and then decide what we're doing after that accordingly. Our mana's not super tied up, so I mean the P-Fire is probably just going into Jailer though, but it would mean that we would have to send more creatures at Oko. I don't think our port's going to get a lot of other use. I think I'm okay making this play. It also ensures that there's like no Snapcaster waiting in the wings. Because it forces them to cast the Speedfire now, if they want to. So it decreases the likelihood of us getting, like, wrecked and them taking Monarchy from me and stuff. Enter combat. All this deliberation really makes me feel like there's a Snapcaster in there. Okay, now they're buying it back. You must still cast your P-Fire right now if you want to cast your P-Fire. P-Fire the Stoneforge, sure. So we're just going to put in the Batter Skull here. Hit Oko, hit face, hit face. Card. Port down. I think I want to start porting down their red mana. So they have to suboptimally figure out how to use these Punishing Fires. So now we move to their draw step. Okay, no, they're just firing off right now, sure. I can clean up my Jailer here or something. I think I'm more scared of another Oko than anything else. So I think we're going to shoot down the Trop here. They have another thing? Assassin's Trophy. Oh, that sucks. That sucks a lot. Oh, thank God we drew this Wasteland. That's so good. I'm gonna tap down all their blue sources with my 4 Schadenports. Oh no, do they have Snapcaster Mage? I hope not. Snapcaster Mage, okay, Drown Block, sure. Time to tap down the rest of your lands. Yeah, there aren't that many lands left to draw on the deck, that's for sure. Go, Mother of Runes. Jayon Bobo, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Nice. More lands. That's what I like to see. It's definitely pouring down all the green, so we don't get Oko'd. And then I guess all the black, since we can't cut off blue. I'd be a little bit nervous about Snapcaster Mage now. there's another Punishing Fire. There's more lands, nice. Super happy to see those. Hey, Recruiter, finally a good draw. Now we can Recruiter for like a Wisp or something. Just go ham. Oh, or we could play a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We could just lethal them with a Walking Ballista. I mean, yeah, it's just lethal, right? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like, they don't have life gain. They have 2 mana up. They can't Force Will. They have 1 card in hand. Ah! Go get her! We found lethal. The old fireball. Alright, that was a game of Magic. Alright. Probably want like all of these. Recipe is more important because the Punishing Fire engine is very hard to beat. We are really lucky finding that Wasteland. Lucky or possibly smart because we jailered to draw extra cards. To dig through like the fucking 6 land drops that we hit. Christ. Alright, let's actually cut all the plows this time before I just blank on that one again. So this is, we're back to playing against blue decks, or not blue decks, we're back to playing against black decks. So we have to keep stuff like Plague Engineer in mind. Even with that being the case, I don't know, Thalia's still really good. Their mana base is like a lot more fragile to Wastelands and stuff because they have less basics than on an Astrolabe deck. There's a chance that I don't want any Crusaders because it's so bad against the card Punishing Fire. I think we probably still shave a Thalia at least. Crusader's really good against their like hands that don't have Punishing Fire though, because it just hits them so hard. The opponent did show us that they also had Magmatic Sinkhole, just like more cards that are lined up very well against Armir and Crusader. Could probably afford to actually shave a Wisp here as well and call it a day. We need one more cut. Actually, no. Probably just down more Revokers. It's a wild game. Do I keep this hand? Wow, this hand is greedy. Oh, just kept 7. Hey, there's Cataclysm in it. How do we lose, right? I think it's not unreasonable. This matchup's very bad. I think you need to get lucky. I think casting Cataclysm is a reasonable plan to get lucky. We also do have access to like Port, so we don't just get beaten the hell up by like turn 3 like Dagger Vial or something. Install them for that at least. What is this? A 2-drop? Pretty sure Strife of Cuddle is Strix. Oh, they're just gonna trophy that. Oh, alright. Give me that white mana. I can cast my spells now. There's another white mana. Boom. We're already at the Cataclysm. Or we could just play Thalia. I think Thalia's probably better here. But Crusader is really tall. I can't play the Crusader anymore because the land that I played, so. Crusader there is pretty tempting. I think Thalia is a better plan, though. think we can just line up the Crusader the following turn. Dahlia is bad against the Plague Engineer here, though. It's like not nothing. But like Curve looks a lot better if we like cast Mirror Crusader that turn, and then the following turn we could play like Thalia plus Factory or Thalia plus Port. We're playing pretty off curve here, but I think that's okay. Hit ya. P-Fire. Decay. Alright. Goodbye. We could Cataclysm here, but they haven't missed a land drop yet. I think I'd rather have pressure in play as well. If they like just play a Planeswalker or something. Oko make a food, we can then cast the fire off the Cataclysm or something. Or Deed. Well, Deed actually doesn't get cleared by the Cataclysm. Could potentially put them off of the amount of mana they need to crack the Deed. I think I'm into Cataclysming here. We do have to sack the Factory, though. Maybe I shouldn't play the Factory if my plan was to cast Cataclysm. Just, no. Yeah, I'm good with this. Keep playing as we have a port. So they get hit by this. If they play a land, we port it. They get hit by this Mirror Crusader like 2 more times, I think. Like the Slugfest. Yeah, I think it's like around 4 right now. Keep planes and Mirror Crusader. It's bad if my opponent has a Punishing Fire, but I don't think they would have just played out the Deed this turn if they just had a P-Fire. Also, if they do get to pop the Deed, we're 1 mana away from deploying a new Crusader. Dang, imagine if we had a Wasteland. Real juicy. Dang. Wasteland. Needle. Ooh, that's actually really good. Just gets a Needle with Deed instead. I guess we can actually Needle it next turn, right? We can port the Trop this turn. It's more mana. I mean, we don't get to port them. But if we draw a land, we get Needle plus port the following turn. I think I'm in for porting them. Oh, they didn't hit the land drop either. Fucking deal. Go, Mirror Crusader. Ooh, Brainstorm, sure. They probably hit the land drop now, so we have to like Needle, put them to 2, and hope that's enough. They could counter the Needle, then spend all 3 mana cracking the Deed, and then if we draw any land or any white source, we can just deploy a new Crusader to punch them some more. I think we're mostly okay here. Oh yeah, they're also going to be at 1 solar fetches are turned off. Assuming they don't have a P-Fire for this Crusader. I could have Sinkhole here too. Please no whammies. This feels like a whammy. Wow, just actual Lightning Bolt in your Punishing Fire Magmatic Sinkhole deck, huh? Alright, now we want to Needle the Deed because as soon as we draw a white source, we want to be able to deploy threats and not get them deeded away. So let's just Needle the Deed and just get wrecked by whatever Planeswalker my opponent has cooking. Pernicious Deed. they have a Planeswalker, we still just need a white source to fire off one of our Council's Judgments. They don't have the P-Fire yet. They could just, like, Jace me, though. Deck, sure. So it really loots them into hitting more land drops here, but, like, again, white source in the next any amount of these turns would have been nice to find. Discard the second Grove and UC. There we go. I think we do need to kill this deck, though. More than I wanted to play Crusader, because this deck digs them so hard to a Punishing Fire, and then we get really wrecked by it. We even have like a follow-up judgment for like a second Planeswalker or something. Like an Oko or something here. Lethal. We don't care about that yet. We really don't care about that now. Yeah, now it's time for the Crusader. P-Fire. If we're getting P-Fire, we're in a real bad spot all of a sudden. It's just another deck. Sure. Plus this deck. Dig deeper. They're digging really hard for a Punishing Fire here. Discard Trophy Drown. Wow. Not bouncing this Leovold. I think I'm attacking them. And playing Flicker Wisp. Makes 2 lethal attackers. So they like dig for a P-Fire. They would also need like a land drop P-Fire both my creatures at that point. Yeah, turning them off all their fetches and stuff is also nice. We could also Stoneforge plus Rishadan port them to turn them off of like P-Firing down both my things, unless they already have the P-Fire in hand. Because the Stoneforge is also lethal because we have the Karakas to attack through the Leovold, or the Council's Judgment to attack through the Leovold. It also sets up a Batter Skull or a Sword of Fire and Ice, all of which are like okay lines. They're at 1, so yeah. I think I like Stoneforge more than Flicker Wisp here. Do have to be careful about equipment because there's a Dak Faden still, but oh, we actually can't port them because they get to draw a card. I mean, we could port them, but I don't think it's worth it. It might be on like an end step or something here. We also might need to like Karakas this Leovold and then untap and then like Council Judgment. Ooh, they did find the P-Fire. Shit. This is really bad all of a sudden. We can port the Grove in response here, right? And then they might not actually be able to kill me. If we port the Grove, they don't get the trigger, and we can untap Karakas Leovold and try to lethal them. I mean, I have to let them draw a card, which sucks, but this might be my only avenue to win this game. They get so many looks at like more cards to kill me with, though. They get to draw this card, and then plus the deck again. And just like anything that answers my 1-power Stoneforge Mystic. Just puts me in the dirt pretty bad. We draw a Recruiter or find like a Ballista at some point. They're not really good at gaining life. Discards Brainstorm, Plague Engineer. Discarded Brainstorm means that like we are just dying here. Like we're not gonna have lethal here. But does that mean we Council Judgment Leovold, give them not as many draw steps? And then we don't have anything to deal with this Dak, who's just going to crush us. Oh god, what are we doing here? Kind of want to Council Judgment the Dak, because because it lets this it makes this batter skull a lot safer. So we might just need to Crocus this Leavold attack, and then like Council Judgment the deck out of the way. Which really sucks. So we get to draw like 900 cards. CJ and hold up Stoneforge activate. Hey, they didn't have it. Yeah, but then we don't get to try and attack them for lethal. Maybe it's worth it. Discarding Brainstorm though. What do they keep in hand? Like, couldn't you have like tried to Brainstorm for an out? Like they have Magmatic Single in their deck. Yeah, kind of surprised they didn't have it. But all right, I'll take it. All right, last round. Here we go. Man, all these leagues have been such a fucking grind fest. Everyone's playing like blue piles. We played against 5-color into Band Miracles into Strifo pile. What was our first round? Like 4-color. It was. I think it was Jundloam Countryside Crusher. Keep. Yeah, maybe just like assuming they had it and Council's Judgmenting the Batter Skull, or Council's Judgmenting the DAC and then putting in the Batter Skull into turn was a better plan. But in that case, then there was no reason to port them, right? Because we knew that they were drawing a bunch of cards. So if our plan was to play around them having an answer to my Stoneforge Mystic, then we should not immediately make the play that like we just let them draw a card for no reason, essentially. I guess we let them draw a card so they couldn't P-Fire my Stoneforge Mystic, so it was no reason. Ooh, this is Depths. I'm in for a quick game. I wonder if Depths even takes here. You can't take the Wasteland. Take Thalia, that tracks. Oh, we'll probably play Stoneforge here. It's a lot of moms. Yeah, we're just going to Stoneforge for Batter Skull. Could also not be Depths and just like having having an active Stoneforge and just immediately having an active Mom and then immediately Stoneforging for Batter Skulls. Usually a powerful play against a lot of decks, so it's not unreasonable here. Yeah, so he could not be Depths. Oh dear. Come on, Batter Skull. Dicks. Well, I'm going to play this Thalia. Land Plague Engineer, man. I'm just gonna be really sad and tilted. Thought sees him Plague Engineer. Blah, blah. Do I just concede the Plague Engineer? Just like out of sheer tilt. Okay, just another him. Goodbye all the cards in my hand, sure. I'm supposed to Wasteland here? Like maybe. So I might only have no victories, Mana Denial. Potentially. Maybe they'll just never hit another land drop. Dang. That plan did not work out. Plan is limp across the finish line. Probably not going to work out very well unless we draw like more Wastelands and ports. Not very helpful for limping. Gotta limp faster. There's that Ponder. They shuffled with it. Yay, now we can't attack this Oko and clear it. We can't attack their face because they get to gain life. Fun, interactive, interesting magic card. I feel completely invalidated. We have 3 cards in hand. If we attack the Oko for 3, they can take the Oko up to 4, elk their food. We can't attack through it. We attack their face for 4. They elk their food. Oko's at 900. Alternatively, they can, like, just gain life. Man. Oko's such a fucking disaster of a card. Like, they could have played Jace here and I would have felt more in this game. Like, not even, like, by far. Why does Oko have a shit zillion loyalty? Like, we can't actually do anything. If we attack their face for 4, they have nothing in hand, and they elk their food, and we draw a land and plow the food, they go back up to 7. Like, we attack them for 4, they can just make a food plus the Oko, and just gain 3 life, and invalidate basically any damage we can deal. If we attack the Oko, they just gain loyalty to invalidate any damage we deal. Man, fuck this card. This card sucks. This card sucks shit. Like, Oko's ability could have been -1, and its other ability could have been a +1, and the card probably would have still been bananas good. Just, like, push the hell out of this card. Yeah, we just, like, actually can't do anything. Like, I guess our plan is to attack their face? Point all creatures Oko. Like, that's not... Like, none of our plans are good. The Oko has much loyalty as my opponent has life. Yeah, sure, whatever. Elk your food. Make a bunch of blockers. Yep, you got me. We can't do anything. I mean, the fact that we got Thoughtsy's him this game certainly did not help. But we also never hit a 3rd land drop. There are a lot of things that happen in this game that I'm not happy about. Yeah, sure, him to track me. None of my cards are castable, opponent. Oh, nice. Rip Stoneforge Mystic. We plow the food and attack for 2. The Oko's at 9 loyalty. They're at effectively at 8. I'm done with this game. I played against so many fucking Okos today. I'm tired. 4 of our 5 rounds have been Okos. I'm not playing this game anymore. No, there's not really a chance we can win that game. What did I cut last time? Shaved down. I don't like Thalias and Moms because of Plague Engineer. This looks fine. Yeah. I miss the good old days when the card that I got to complain about the most was just True Nemesis, because that card created obnoxious play patterns that weren't enjoyable. But man, Oko makes True Name look like chopped liver. Christ. Thoughtsy is me. Oh, nice. Unfortunately, they're on like Hymn to Tarox and shit. I guess, fortunately, if they're on Hymn to Tarox and shit, they're probably not on, like, Source of Plowshares, so Mirror Crusader gains a lot of equity. Ooh, nice. Play this over Porting. But unfortunately, the hymns and stuff makes, like, the Cataclysm plans a lot worse. Though usually you're trying to like top deck your 4-drop, you're not trying to have it in opening hands. Fatal Push. Yep. It's a good draw step. What are we trying to draw here? I mean, land. Specifically white mana, but can decay my Vial here? Alright, well, I'll get my thing. I just want to grab Batterskull now. And then get my Batterskull elked. I guess I can't get elked TX. Yeah, I'll grab Batterskull. Batterskull's a good card to try to line up with Vial as well. I'm just gonna wasteland them. I don't want to give them the option of, like, we could port them, which is more mana efficient, lets me, like, keep around my mana and whatever, but this is the option that they have, like, an Abrupt Care or something in hand that they get to fire off because I port their green source instead of wastelanding it. Thoughtseize, alright, well. I'll make my Batterskull now. They'll probably take my Cataclysm, I have to imagine. But the 2 Wisps in my hand, if we can find another white source, make the Batterskull a little bit better if they don't trophy it. Outside of, like, trophy, and now Oko, sure, yeah. Oko gets to kill the Batterskull, but we can Flicker Wisp the Batterskull back into a Batterskull. Wow. Take a Wisp, huh? Just going to hit me and the choice doesn't matter. No, yes, no, maybe. I don't know what's happening. Gurmag or what? Okay, that's not good for me. Hard card to attack through, certainly. Appears we've reached an impasse, opponent. Oko time yet? Oh, thank Christ. Yeah, this Gurmag really holding down the fort. Real obnoxious for me. This Wasteland doesn't let us do anything. Better start double porting now, though, than, like, firing it off. They have plenty of mana to do things with. I may need this mana down the line somewhere for something. They know my whole hand, so we can pretty safely F6. Gurmag's super obnoxious. It's getting him so much life just by existing. Ugh. I want to board back in some number of the plows, assuming there's a game 3 for like Gurmag and Oko and stuff. Looking for finding like recruiters so we can pick up a jailer or something. The cats are getting antsy. They're probably hungry. Played fucking 4 Oko decks in a row. It's gonna take a million years. Uh-oh. Attacking's never good. Okay, not attacking is at least better for me. Engineer, sure. Engineer doesn't do a lot here. Let's put an elemental maybe? Because I know it's in my hand. Or did they want a specific? No, okay. I don't know if they specifically wanted to shrink one of my creatures, but it does not look like it. We're not going to cast the second Vial because I think one of our main plans remains this Cataclysm that's somehow still in our hand. We need to port my opponent off of green mana at least. is to draw planes and cast Cataclysm. And have a Vial on 3 for this Flicker Wisp. Oh, that's fine. It's not a very good round of block. This feels like a good attack lined up for me. This attack seems bad for them, unless they have like a Fatal Push. They don't get to take the Vial up 3, just attacking the Engineer. If they block, we just flicker the Batter Skull. Jite. I like getting Jite online too. I'm into that. The days of porting them are probably over. They have 2 cards in hand. Tip with this. Yep. They block, we get counters, and we get to Flicker Wisp the Skull, which we want to do right now. I don't think it actually matters. No, we don't want to do it right now because we want to play around Oko, right? So we want to do it on like their second main or something. Because like we can't beat Assassin's Trophy, right? Because they'll just Assassin's Trophy my Batter Skull when it comes back before I have mana untapped. Because they can't decay the skull. Yeah, like we can't beat Trophy if they have it. Because they'll just Trophy the Batter Skull when it comes back in, or like when they untap. Versus we can potentially try to play around Oko by not making it right now. I'm trying to think of if there's anything else we really get bodied by, which I don't think so. Yeah, I'm just gonna let this happen. Besides obviously like fucking Corrosion Grip Your Eighth Vow. Gotcha, idiot. Like realistic cards. Hey, we did it, look at that. Alright, so I think I want some number of plows back in after seeing, just because you can plow Plague Engineer, you can plow Anglers, and you can plow like Elks in a pinch, so like some number of plows definitely isn't bad. 2 or 3 maybe. Angler was like backbreaking for us there. Their attack was also really bad though. They like, even if we did draw the GTA, like there's no reason to attack there. We do attack into their Engineer, they either don't block and we gain 4 life and they lose 4, which is just a bad deal for them. Or they do block and then we kill their Engineer and then we get to Flicker Wisp our Batter Skull. And then we have our Batter Skull back and we have a 3/1 flyer because their Engineer died. The attack with the Gurmag Angler didn't make any sense. But, let's go down like more Thalias on the draw. Like a Wisp. Bring in 2 plows, sure. I think I'm gonna keep this on the draw. It's bad against Thoughtseize. We get 2 draw steps at a land though, and like this hand, we have both the plows, but like this hand is like pretty reasonable. Is really bad against Thoughtseize. My opponent is like pretty aggressive, like Thoughtseize me on turn 1 a bunch. Oh, nice. Faded the first bullet. Mulliganing against him to Turok Tech is like something I really want to avoid. Easy game. Found the second land. Professional Magic player. They fetch Island too, so they can't even like decay it. Force, sure. I think we drew the second land. Strix. I think I'm into Mom plus Plow here to set up protecting the Stoneforge. Thoughtseize me. We don't have to plow here, so sure. They probably take the Stoneforge here. Yep. Yeah, there's no reason for me to take one. We're very locked into this play. That's interesting. Gonna into just tuning in what's the record. I think we're 2-2 right now, playing in match 3, game 3. I think I'm interested in just revoking Oko right now, rather than just casting a Flicker Wisp or something. Both of them are pretty bad into the face of an Engineer, but the Engineer we plow it and can cast the other thing or something. Yeah, results. Name Horror or Human here? Name Human, okay. So yeah, we have to fire off the plow on this other Engineer for sure. So we can attack successfully. Ugh, Jailer makes me really not want to Wasteland them, but I really want to Wasteland them, and I think I should. They're missing green. I think I want to kick them while they're down. The pressure going, then we're just gonna get like land drop Oko'd and then die. We usually beat land drop Oko specifically right here, but if they like kill my things and Oko me and we miss land drops, and then I regret not being able to cast Jailer this turn or something, then I'll complain about it. Fatal Push, sure. Alright. Need to fade the Oko. We need to fade the value generation. Play like a Gurmag Angler, please. And then we draw land. Really make my life nice. I'll accept play nothing, draw land. It's going to be a dangerous proposition into a Snapcaster Mage, potentially, but I think this is the best shot we got. Try to take over this game. They don't have an Astrolabe in play, so Oko's not as dangerous. They could drown in the lock this, which just seems like what they're about to do. Yeah. They just, like, have not been caring about their green mana. Do they have green mana in hand or something? Draw Gideon, Cataclysm, the other Jailer. The higher CMC the card we draw, the better. Except for Batter Skull. Don't drop me Batter Skull, please. This looks like a Jailer, or not, Angler. Second Jailer off the top, please. We'll also accept Cataclysm. They only have one card in hand. This Flicker Wisp might go the distance. Never mind. We tried. Alright, they have no cards in hand, so now we go grab Sword. Oh no, we go grab Batter Skull here. Wait, do we? None of these things attack profitably into this Angler. We're actually down both of our plows that we ported in specifically for the Angler. None of these help me fight an Angler. Batter Skull, I think, is our best bet to try to fight the Angler. It's the most value. I think it's more useful than Sword. Yeah, we'll play the land out here so we can potentially pick up the Batter Skull if it's in danger. Now we've reached an impasse. We could just suit up our Stoneforge Mystic. Attack their 5/6. Kind of into that, honestly. Metalizer 88, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. I think we do just have to get a little bit lucky here. They have 2 cards in hand. Let's go to town. Get our beatdowns on. They don't have green mana. Oh. Well, we get another equipment out of the deal. It's not the worst thing in the world. But that's pretty bad. Face is certainly spooky. Especially because we're not drawing another threat. It's bad. It's bad news bears. They're at 5. Chite lets us pick up the... I think we need to pick up this Batter Skull. They might just not... They're probably not bouncing the Stoneforge this turn, though. Swordcast Equip. That does protect the Stoneforge from getting bounced. They're probably brainstorming to try to find a removal, but it protects it from, like, Drown Lock, too. They find Fatal Push. That's probably the play, yeah. I'm just going to brainstorm to try to find like a Fatal Push or a Snapcaster Mage or something, but seems like a reasonable bet to try to win this game, right? Hope this brainstorm found nothing. They could still chump block with their Gurmag worst case. Alright. It's not the best ponder I've ever seen. Seems like desperation trying to find answers. They shuffled. They found a green source. Could be dangerous. Okos and Decays are online. I play next turn, like, has to be Equip Batterskull Send, which is just so bad if they just remove my Stoneforge. If we draw a creature, can we afford to make a different play? Ugh, that's a creature to draw. We have 7 mana, so we can't equip the Batterskull here. And still cast this Crusader. Crusader with a sword on it is so hard for my opponent to beat, though. They could decay the sword and bounce it with the Jace. Which is... Oh, God. Wow. This is the decision to make. Man. These Gurmag's just been beating me the heck up. So hard to attack into. Oh, God. Cast Equip Sword that also lets you hold up Batterskull Bounce. 5, 6, 7, 8, no. Everything costs 8 mana. Any of my lines. We only have 7. 3 to pick up Batterskull, 3 to cast Crusader, and 2 to equip the sword. Yeah. We're 1 off. Because picking up the Batterskull and putting it back in costs 5 mana. Or picking up and equipping the sword would also cost 5 mana. Yeah. Nothing works out here. We're like 1 mana off in every respect. So it's really hard to figure out what we want to do. If they have anything, then equipping this Batterskull is horrendous for me. Start casting Crusader. But we might not want to cast Crusader, right? Like, we might want to equip this Batterskull and just, like, try to get this Gurmag off the board. If they have... But if they have anything, then that plan's bad. But... if we equip Crusader and move the sword over to it, and then they just have Abrupt Decay. If you upkeep port them, you'd have known the line. Yeah, but if we upkeep port them, then we can't necessarily, like... I guess... What, upkeep port the... or draw step port the Trop? To play around Decay? It doesn't play around everything, though. Crusader doesn't care if Angler's on board. That's true. We'd force them to, like, Jace minus. I think the worst case... on playing the Crusaders better than the worst case on the Stoneforge Mystic. Getting the Crusader in play already pressures them, or at least stops them brainstorming with Jace. And if they don't have the Decay, then we're pretty well set. I don't like porting the Trop, I don't think, because that doesn't tell us if they don't have removal. It just tells us if they don't have Decay or Trophy. They could still have Snap Fatal Push, or just Fatal Push on the Stoneforge, so like equipping the Batterskull is still bad there. I hate this. Man, this tough. I think Crusader move. I guess, yeah. Yeah, it's Crusader, I think. Attempt to move the sword and just, like, port their green source. Storm Thief, thanks for the 4-month resub. Appreciate it. So this line, if they do have, like, Decay for the sword and bounce the Crusader, we can still, like, re-equip the Battle Skull to the Stoneforge and send after that. The Jace is on 1, and they have to, like, chump block with the Gurmod unless they have more removal after that. So I think this line is... I think I like this line more. And then we just pass here. Here's the Decay. Ooh, we have more. What's this? A Brainstorm? Petty Theft. Woof. That's a rough one. Especially if they have, like, a discard spell to follow it up. I wonder if we actually port down the second black source to play around him to Turok, rather than the green source. Oof, that Petty Theft. Yikes. Yeah, things were breaking bad no matter what we did that turn. Yeah, it's not... Petty Theft not on the mind, but... I think that plays much better against Petty Theft too. Like, if we just equip the Battle Skull, I guess if we equip the Battle Skull and so forth, they'd probably decay the. They can actually like Petty Theft the Batter Skull in that case, and then just keep the decay and just block the Stoneforge, and we get super wrecked. Yeah, Brazen Bar would have been really bad if we did the equip Batter Skull line. They put the Batter Skull back in our hand, and just eat our Stoneforge Mystic. And then we're just under the thumb of this Jace forever. This line means that they have to find more answers. Which, obviously, if they have a Jace, they can definitely find more answers, but we at least have to make them find them. Oh, Pilstrick's pretty good. Please, no Thoughtseize. Just don't Thoughtseize me. Please. Pretty please. Beta push, sure. No Thoughtseize. But they can just time walk me twice, I think, is their plan. Can we draw, like... Ballista might actually kill them, too. Ooh. That's a draw step. That's certainly a draw step. We might have them dead. We have 4, 5, 6, 7 mana, so we can only port once. They need, like, another bounce spell or an edict, right? Or an abrupt decay from Needle. I guess Oko would also do it because they could elk the Needle. They have a lot of hits, but they have a lot of misses too. Am I supposed to equip the Batter Skull? Minus for a Snapcaster Mage? Nope, they just plussed it. Do they have a Snapcaster Mage? I'm probably supposed to equip the Batter Skull. Casting the Borrower gives them a blocker too. No, it can't block creatures on the ground. It can only block flyers. the text that I always forget, but I remembered it from last league. Yeah, I'm supposed to equip here, because if they have Snapcaster to chump block, I need to gain life. Rather than, like, trying to double port them or some nonsense. If they have, like, second Petty Theft, I think we're just, like, getting fucked. Regardless. If they had second Petty Theft, they would have Petty Thefted my Needle and bounced my Crusader, though. So, yeah, I think we just equip here. Whew, God. Never worked so hard to get my pity chest in my life. Jesus. Dang, that was a fucking game, huh? Look how cool the meshes are, like, how cool and close they are when your opponent never casts Oko. Like, it's so much more interesting and deep, and, like, what could they have, what could they not have? Like, how do we get out of this? It's so much more interesting when there's not an Oko in play, just invalidating, like, every single one of your options. Oh, man. See, those are, like, the fun games. Not just because we won, but obviously winning's great. But, like, those are the interesting lines. Like, if my opponent had found the Abrupt Decay and Abrupt Decayed my Needle, or, like, had found, like, the second Brazen Borrower or something, much more interesting than, like, your opponent just like, oh, they have Oko, and they elked my equipment, and then they elked my other equipment, and then they made an elk to block, and then etc., etc. Man. The games where your opponent doesn't cast Oko are extremely complex and deep, and that's like one of the most fun things I've enjoyed about Death and Taxes, and one of the most infuriating things about Oko is just how much it invalidates and how boring it makes a lot of your games. But anyway, I've been playing way too late. It was 4 control matches in a row, so I need to go sign off and feed the animal and stuff. Anyway, let's find someone to host. Is MTGO streams up working yet? Yeah, it looks like it is. It wasn't working yesterday. Let's go host Honorog. I think they were doing commentary over some tournament that already happened. It was like they were commentating over a non-English commentation of like some game in some Brazil Legacy Nationals. I think the tournament already happened, and they're just commentating on old footage, but I was watching a little bit of it earlier, so we'll send you their way. Looks like Slivers versus Delver. Oh man, hype. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Hope you had a good time. As always, if you want to support the stream, follow, subscribe, donate, etc., etc. Thanks for hanging out, and have a good weekend, everybody. I'll see you guys next week.